New chapter is what? Ind AS 101. Ind AS 101. First time adoption of Ind AS. What are left with us? Can you see we are left with which chapter? We are left with Ind AS 101. Correct? We are left with Ind AS 33, that is earning per share. We are left with Ind AS 113, that is fair value measurement, and we are left with two small chapter. One is corporate social responsibility, and one is integrated reporting, correct now. And there is one more chapter, that is analysis of financial statement. Analysis of financial statement, but this analysis of financial statement already we have covered. This is nothing but discussion of Ind AS 1. Already we have covered Ind AS 1, and the discussion of schedule 3 requirement. This also we have done. Only I need to take two questions from examination point of view. Means in this analysis of financial statement, I need to take only two questions. If I take that two questions, this chapter will be covered. Means this analysis of financial statement is nothing but application of Ind AS and Schedule 3 and all other Indias. So already we have done. Entire Ind AS has been completed. So this I will take at the end, and I will take that two questions. So this is only pending from question point of view. This will take only 1 hour of discussion. This will take only 30 minutes of discussion. This will take, I think today will be able to complete almost Ind AS 101. Means let us say 1 day. This will take 1 day. Are you able to understand? But Ind AS 33. Ind AS 33, if I want to teach only from examination point of view, it may take only 2 days. But looking into the question, whatever they are asking in recent MTP and RTP, I need to discuss entire thing in detail. So it may take 4 days. It may take 4 days. I hope you understood whatever I am saying correct. So this is the pending part from my point of view. Apart from this, all chapters we have completed. Yes, sir. So coming to Ind AS 101. Coming to Ind AS 101, what they have said, first time adoption of Ind AS. First time. Now already we have done application of Ind AS. Ki when an entity need to apply Ind AS for the first time, that is based on what? That is based on what? The roadmap of whatever we have discussed. Correct. Now can I say there are two type of entity? Just try to understand. There are two type of entity. One is existing One is existing entity who were applying accounting standard as per company's accounting standard rules, 2006, to prepare their financial statement. And they can be a new entity, a new entity, correct? I hope you're understanding. They can be a totally new entity. Now suppose to them Ind AS is applicable. So Ind AS is applicable to this new entity. Also Ind AS is applicable. So for new entity, can you see Ind AS is applicable from the date of incorporation only? Therefore, to this new entity, Ind AS 101 is not applicable. To this new entity, Ind AS 101 is not applicable. I hope you are understanding. Correct? Are you able to understand? So to a new entity who are preparing their first financial statement, first annual financial statement based on Ind AS only, to them Ind AS 10 is not Ind AS 101 is not applicable. So it is applicable only to an existing company who were preparing their financial statement based on previous gap. So this is known as previous gap, previous IGAP. IGAP means Indian gap. I hope you're understanding. So this is known as previous gap in this chapter. Correct? Any entity who were preparing financial statement based on previous gap, that is by following accounting standard as notified under company's accounting standard rule 2006, they need to apply Ind AS 101, Ind AS 109. India's 101. I hope you're understanding. So what is first time adoption of India's that we need to understand? Let me give some more background of this chapter. Just try to understand. We have understood the application of India's, correct? Are you getting what I'm saying? Now suppose, just try to understand कि for any company, suppose for any company, it is applicable from 1/4/2020. 1/4/2020, correct? Means this is the date. This is the date when entity adopted India's either voluntary or on mandatory basis. We have understood that any entity can adopt India's voluntary also. Yes, sir. But suppose entity has adopted India's from 1/4/2020, either voluntary or mandatory. Either voluntary or mandatory. I hope you are understanding whatever I am saying. Correct? Write down either voluntary or mandatory. Mandatory means as per the rules given under what? The application, the roadmap. Yes, sir. Mandatory. Yes, sir. So can you say for this financial year, that is 2021, they need to prepare their financial statement based on India's. So first this is known as first India's financial statement. This is known as first India's financial statement. Correct? Yes, sir. Means in this financial statement, just try to understand whatever I am saying. Correct? Are you getting what I am saying? So they need to prepare balance sheet as on 31st March 2021, and they need to also report comparative figure. Comparative figure. So that is 31st March 2020. Are you able to understand whatever I am saying? Yes, sir. Means of course comparative figure need to be given. Yes, sir. The 31st March 2020. So this is based on India's. This is based on India's, no doubt. The question is that for comparative figure, already they have prepared financial statement based on what? Accounting standard. But now they need to give comparative figure based on India's only. Means they need to what? Give this figure based on India's. I hope you are understanding. Correct. And for this, can I say they want opening balance means just try to understand. If I say this is the previous year, this is the previous year. Yes, sir. And this become the opening date of previous year, that is 1/4/2019. So can I say to prepare this financial statement, based on India's, they want the opening balance also based on India's. They want opening balance based on India's. And can I say we have done under India's one. Whenever there is a changes in accounting policy, then third balance is required at the beginning of previous year. Third balance required at the beginning of previous year. So can I say changes from previous gap to India's is nothing but changes in accounting policy. Therefore, can I say they need to also prepare one opening India's balance sheet. Opening India's balance sheet means what? Balance sheet at the beginning of previous year. Balance sheet at the beginning of previous year. Yes, sir. Means that is 1/4/2019. Means all the balance means asset, equity, liability. This need to be adjusted based on India's. I hope you are understanding. Yes, sir. This balance sheet is known as opening India's balance sheet. This balance sheet is known as opening opening India's balance sheet. Yes, sir. Correct. Means can I say even though entity adopted India's from 1/4/2020, but they need to apply India's from which date? From 1/4/2019, and therefore this date is known as date of transition. Date of transition. I hope you are understanding. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Means can I say opening India's balance sheet should be prepared on the date of transition. On the date of transition means they need to apply India's from 1/4/2019 for preparing first India's financial statement for 2021. For preparing first India's financial statement for 2021. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I hope you are understanding. Correct. Are you able to understand? One thing is clear that this financial statement was was prepared, already prepared based on accounting standard. Now we need to convert this into in accounting standard. In accounting standard means this will result in changes in accounting policy, changes in accounting policy. And whenever there is changes in accounting policies, can I say we need to apply the change in accounting policy retrospectively. Retrospectively, correct now. Means can I say all Indians need to be applied retrospectively? Retrospectively means what? Not from this date. Retrospectively does not mean from 1/4/2019. Retrospectively means what? From the beginning when the entity was incorporated. I hope you understood. Suppose this entity was incorporated on 1/4/2080. It means they need to apply Ind AS from 1/4/2080, which is quite impossible, impracticable to apply. Therefore, what will happen if suppose this is the case? So no entity will adopt, even though it is mandatory. It will not be easy to apply. Correct now? Are you able to understand? So it means entity will not be reluctant. Entity will not entity will not be able to apply such Ind AS on a retrospective basis. Because of this reason, Ind AS 101, because when there is a retrospectively, because of this reason, Ind AS 101 has given some exemption, has given some exemption, has given some exemption from retrospective application, from retrospective application. And this exemption are of two types. There are some mandatory exemption, there are some mandatory exemption, and there are some voluntary exemption. I hope you are understanding whatever I am saying. Yes sir. Means if Ind AS 101 says every Ind AS need to apply retrospectively, then I will say there was no need of Ind AS 101. Go to Ind AS, go to respective Ind AS. For example, PP, property, plant and equipment, we know we need to go to Ind AS 16 and apply Ind AS 16 from the beginning. Are you able to understand? So can you see Ind AS 101 has given some exemption. So only to understand that exemption, now we need to read Ind AS 101. So Ind AS 101 has given some relaxation to entity who are applying for the first time Ind AS. What are that relaxation? That relaxation is given two ways. What? First, they have given some mandatory exemption. They have also given some voluntary exemption. What is the meaning of voluntary exemption? Means option has been given. Option has been given. Either you can apply retrospective, either you can apply retrospective or prospective. This, I hope you are understanding. Yes, sir. So this option has been given, but when I say mandatory, so no option has been given. It means always you need to apply prospective only. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This we need to understand. Ki what is mandatory exemption? What are voluntary exemption? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And any entity who adopt Ind AS, this entity in this chapter is known as FTA. FTA FATA. FTA means first time adopter. So this entity who has adopted Ind AS for the first time will be known as, in this chapter only in this chapter will be known as first time adopter. Correct? However, can I say this name was not required, but then also they have given. So you should know that whenever I am saying first time adopter, it means the entity who has adopted Ind AS for the first time. So can I say this name will be used only for this chapter? Subsequently, they are not first time adopter. Yes sir, yes sir. Of course we have understood. Let us come to the content of this chapter. Can we come? Yes sir, we can come. So what they have said, scope. Ind AS 101 applies to first Ind AS financial statement. First Ind AS financial statement. For our example, it is 2021, and each interim financial report for the part of the period covered by first Ind AS financial statement. Means suppose if you are preparing quarterly report, quarterly report for this financial year. So for this interim financial report, for this interim financial report, also what is applicable? What is applicable? Ind AS 101 will be applicable. Yes, sir, we are able to understand now. Correct? Yes, sir. Note. The accounting under Ind AS should be applied at the time of at the time of transition to Ind AS, at the time of transition to Ind AS. Yes, sir. So accounting under Ind AS should be applied at the time of transition to Ind AS. So what is the date of transition? Date of transition is 1/4/2019. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So accounting under Ind AS should be applied at the time of transition to Ind AS as correct. Sorry, and I don't not as, and it will result in changes in accounting policy. So can I say accounting in under Ind AS shall be applied at the time of transition to Ind AS, and this will be considered as changes in accounting policy. Whenever we say changes in accounting policy, means we need to apply retrospective application. But what Ind AS 101 says, however, Ind AS 101 has given certain exemption. Correct. However, Ind AS 101 has given certain exemption from retrospective application of Ind AS. From retrospective application of Ind AS, such exemption are of two types. One is known as mandatory exemption. One is known as voluntary exemption. Means in this chapter we are going to learn this exemption only. Yes, sir. However, this exemption is only from accounting point of view, not from disclosure point of view. For disclosure, there is no exemption given. Yes, sir. I hope you are understanding. So, Ind AS 101 do not provide any exemption, any exemption from disclosure requirement. Any exemption from disclosure requirement. Understood? Yes, sir. We have understood. Correct? Yes, sir. Now coming to definition. Definition. First, Ind AS financial statement. So, of course, I have already said this financial statement will be known as first Ind AS financial statement. What is given? The first annual financial statement. The first annual financial statement in which entity adopt by an explicit and unreserved statement of compliance of Ind AS. Correct? Understood once again. The first annual financial statement in which entity adopt by an and unreserved unreserved statement of compliance of Ind AS, that financial statement will be known as first annual that financial statement will be known as first Ind AS financial statement. The first annual financial statement in which entity adopt by an explicit means written, unreserved means without any reservation of compliance of Ind AS, that financial statement will be known as first Ind AS financial statement. I hope you are understanding correct. One clarification has been given. If auditor report contain a qualified opinion, means it might happen there may be some disagreement regarding the application of Ind AS between entity and auditor. It might be a case कि when you are adopting Ind AS for the first time, so there may be some disagreement regarding the application of Ind AS. Means as per entity they have opted for different accounting treatment, but as per Ind AS they said we are applying Ind AS, but auditor opinion may be different. Yes, sir. So auditor may qualify the report. However, they will never qualify. Just try to understand. If auditor qualify for the if auditor qualify the report, the question is that whether this financial statement will be known as first Ind AS financial statement. Yes, sir. So what clarification has been given? Even though auditor qualify the report, an auditor has a disagreement, then also if entity adopt Ind AS by an explicit and unreserved statement of compliance of Ind AS, then that financial statement will be the first Ind AS financial statement. Yes, sir. So what note I have given? If auditor report contain a qualified opinion because of disagreement on application of Ind AS, then also financial statement will be considered as first Ind AS financial statement. Reason is what? This is the reason is what? Because the financial statement is the responsibility of management, not the responsibility of auditor. There may be some disagreement. Auditor may qualify the report. It does not mean this will not be a first Ind AS financial statement if they have adopted it by an explicit and unreserved statement of compliance of Ind AS. When I say compliance of Ind AS, it means all Ind AS, not part of Ind AS. It should be compliance of all Ind AS. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I hope you are understanding whatever I am saying. Correct. Write down. For this, write down. Refer question number 3. You can refer by your own. Yes, sir. Correct. Have you understood? Yes, sir. We have understood now. What is the meaning of first time adopter? An entity that prepare is first India's financial statement. Means entity who has adopted India's and preparing their first India's financial statement will be known as FTA for this chapter. For this chapter, yes, sir. What is the date of transition? It is the beginning of previous year. It is the beginning of previous year for which entity present full comparative information for the first India's financial statement. Correct now. Means it is the beginning of previous year for which entity is presenting full comparative financial information for the first India's financial statement. Means as per our example, this is 1/4/2019. So 1/4/2019 become the date of transition. Yes, sir. I hope you understood. Correct. Write down refer question number 1 and question number 4. You can do by your own. Means you don't require my help, therefore I am not going to the chapter. Means whenever you are doing revision, so you can refer it and you'll understand what type of question they will ask. Yes, sir. Now previous gap. So can a previous gap will be the financial statement if the financial statement is prepared as per notified as per company's accounting standard rules 2006. So that is only previous gap. Yes, sir. So what they said, it is the basis of accounting. It is the basis of accounting that first time adopter used for statutory compliance in India. Statutory compliance in India before adopting India's. Before adopting India's, once again, it is the basis of accounting that first time adopter used for statutory compliance in India. So can I say for statutory compliance in India, they will always use AS notified under company's accounting standard rules 2006. So that become previous gap. Yes, sir. It means AS notified, AS notified under company's accounting standard rules 2006. Yes, sir. I hope you understood. Correct. Are you able to understand? Yes, sir. Now a clarification has been given by Indias. What is that clarification? Just try to understand. Suppose X Limited is preparing two financial statement for which year, as per our example, I will always take this as previous year 1920. Correct, so that there is no doubt. So 1920 is the previous year. Correct. For 1920, they were preparing two financial statement. One is based on IFRS, one is based on AS notified AS. Yeah, I'm writing existing accounting standard. Will you be able to understand? Yes, sir. Correct. Existing accounting standard. Why? Because can I say this X Limited were also listed because it were listed in London Stock Exchange. So as per the requirement of London Stock Exchange, they need to also report based on IFRS. Means there are two financial statement. One is financial statement prepared based on IFRS. One is financial statement based on existing AS. Correct. Now for 2021, they adopted Ind AS. They adopted Ind AS. Means can I say now they have two set of financial statement. Yes, sir. Previous year. Now question arises: what is previous gap for this first India's financial statement? I hope you understood. Correct. It is understood. Already I have mentioned previous gap means what? Previous gap means the which it is what? The accounting that first time adopted used for statutory compliance in India. Statutory compliance in India means can I say previous gap for this India's previous gap will be this. Previous previous gap will be this means entity cannot entity cannot translate this financial statement to Ind AS financial statement. They need to translate this financial statement to Ind AS financial statement. I hope you're understanding whatever I'm saying. Means of course they can do this also, but this is not permissible. Can I say this is only permissible? Yes, sir. So if I am saying previous gap is existing as, therefore they need to translate this financial statement into Ind AS financial statement. Translation of this financial statement to Ind AS financial statement is not permissible. Yes, sir. We have understood this point. What they have said. Come to the next page. If entity has two set of previous gap financial statement, then set of financial statement that relate more to Indian context is applied for previous gap, which relate more to Indian context means which has been prepared for the statutory compliance in India. Correct. In other words, financial statement which is prepared on the basis of Companies Act 2013 and AS notified under Companies Accounting Standard Rule 2006 will be what previous gap financial statement. So a clarification has been given. However, such clarification was not required. It is understood fact that previous gap will be based on existing accounting standard. I hope you are understanding my emotions. Yes, sir. Let us refer question number 2. Refer question number 2. Yes, sir. Can you refer by your own? Yes, sir. Now, coming to point number 3. What will be the step for application of Ind AS for the first time? What will be step? So can you say first any FTA should prepare opening Ind AS balance sheet. So for that they need to identify the date of transition. So first identify the date of transition. In our case it is 1/4/2019. Then prepare opening Ind AS balance sheet. Opening Ind AS balance sheet. Opening Ind AS balance sheet means balance sheet as on 1/4/2019 on the date of transition by availing mandatory or voluntary exemption provided under Ind AS 101. Means can I say Ind AS 101 has given mandatory and voluntary exemption that need to be applied for preparing opening Ind AS balance sheet, not for first Ind AS financial statement. I hope you understood. Correct? So opening Ind AS balance sheet on the date of transition by availing mandatory or voluntary exemption provided under Ind AS 101. Means can I conclude in this way? This is very much important. This whatever exemption has been given, that should be applied, for preparing opening Ind AS balance sheet. Yes, sir. So this exemption should be applied. This exemption should be applied. Write down. Should be applied for preparing opening Ind AS balance sheet. Yes, sir. Not for means this exemption is not for this financial statement. Correct now. Means this will not be applied for preparing this financial statement. Will not be applied. Will not be applied for preparing first Ind AS financial statement. I hope you are understanding whatever I am saying. Yes, sir. Correct. Means to apply Ind AS for the first time. The first time they are applying on the date of transition. For that some exemption has been given for the transition from AS to Ind AS. From transition to AS to Ind AS. Means once opening Ind AS balance sheet is prepared, now they need to adopt accounting policies as per Ind AS for preparation of first Ind AS financial statement. Yes, sir. So what is step number 3? Let us check what they have given. Identify accounting policies. Now identify accounting policy to be applied in the preparation of first Ind AS financial statement as per respective Ind AS. So once the opening Ind AS balance sheet is prepared, then they need to apply accounting policy for the preparing first Ind AS financial statement. By applying respective Ind AS means for PP they will apply Ind AS 16, for investment property they will apply Ind AS 40, for biological asset they will apply Ind AS 41. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Correct. So this is very important. This exemption is given only for preparing opening Ind AS balance sheet, not for preparing first India's financial statement. Yes, sir. Now, only we need to now understand how to prepare opening India's balance sheet. How to prepare opening India's balance sheet. In this chapter, we are doing only for the preparation of opening India's balance sheet on the date of transition. On the date of transition. Yes, sir. I hope you understood. Yes, sir. Coming to what? Opening India's balance sheet. Opening India's balance sheet. To what they said. For preparing opening India's balance sheet, entity cell. What? Can is recognize all asset and liabilities whose recognition is required as per India's whose recognition is required as per India's means it might happen that was not recognized as per existing years but need to be recognized as per India, so that need to be recognized. For example, can you see DT as per India's 12? It might happen you have not recognized DT as per AS 20, but you need to recognize DT as per India's 12. Yes, sir. DBO means defined benefit obligation. Defined benefit obligation as per India's 19. Yes, sir. A derivative financial instrument. There was no accounting standard for derivative financial instrument. But now, with the application of India's, we need to recognize option future in our balance sheet. Yes, sir. To derivative financial instrument as per India's 109. Yes, sir. Provision for constructive obligation. AS 29 is silent about constructive obligation. It might happen if, as per previous gap, we have not recognized any provision for constructive obligation which is required as per India's 37. Yes, sir. The provision for constructive obligation as per India's 37 and share-based payment transaction. Share-based payment transaction. Now, of course, we have done one chapter ESOP in our CA Inter, but that was based on guidance note. Means there was no accounting standard, and guidance note is not mandatory for all entities. Yes, sir. Means it might have been कि share-based payment transaction was not recognized by entity as per previous gap because there was no accounting standard on share-based payment transaction arguing, but now they need to recognize all share-based payment transaction as per India's 102. Yes, sir. So share-based payment transaction as per India's 102. I hope you are understanding. Yes, sir. Correct. It means recognize all assets and liabilities whose recognition is required as per India's. Similarly, de-recognize item of assets and liability if India's do not permit such recognition. Arguing means it might happen there was some asset liability which was recognized as per previous gap, but now it required de-recognition because India does not permit the recognition of such assets liability. De-recognize it. For example, DTA for which recovery is not probable. Recovery is not probable. So as per it might happen कि as per AS 22 you are recognizing such DTA. Now it is not required. Yes, sir. A provision for proposed dividend, however, AS4 has been also now modified. Now, as per AS4, also we do not recognize provision for proposed dividend. But suppose in your previous gap, you have created a provision for proposed dividend that need to be de-recognized because India's 10 do not permit. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Self-generated intangible asset means it might happen you have recognized self-generated intangible asset. However, AS 26 also do not permit the recognition of self-generated intangible asset. But suppose if you are recognizing, so it should not be recognized, it should be de-recognized. Yes, sir. Any provision without present obligation, so of course, India AS 29 also do not permit. But suppose if you are recognizing any provision without present obligation that require de-recognition under India 37. Yes, sir. I hope you are understanding correct. Then point number C, reclassify item of assets. Reclassify item of assets and liability and other component of equity as per India's reclassification may be required. Reclassification may be required. For example, investment as FBTPL, FBTOC, AC. So of course, under accounting standard, there was no such classification. Yes, sir. A compound financial instrument as liability component, equity component. Yes, sir. Discontinued operation. Discontinued as per AS 24. It was discontinued continuing operation. So there is change in definition also. Ki as per AS 24, it was discontinuing operation, but now as per Ind AS 105, it is discontinued operation. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Non-current asset classified as held for sale. There was no accounting standard on that, but now we have Ind AS 105 for that non-current asset, which is now classified as held for sale. So reclassification may be required. Reclassification may be required. Yes, sir. Point number D, measurement of recognized asset and liability as per Ind AS after availing exemption as per Ind AS 101. Means once you have done these, what first? Recognition, derecognition, reclassification, then you need to measure the recognized assets and liability as per Ind AS after availing exemption under Ind AS 101. Means that we need to understand what are the exemption given for retrospective application. Yes, sir. Any effect of remeasurement, any effect of remeasurement is adjusted in retained earning or other component of equity or goodwill as the case may be. Correct? Understood? Means normally whatever effect of this measurement, means this translation, I will say translation from AS financial statement to Ind AS financial statement, of course some difference will arise. So that difference will be transferred retained earning. Means if question is silent, always transfer the difference to retained earning. Ha. But if the business combination, any business combination transaction is restated, any business combination transaction restated, so that adjustment will be done with what? Goodwill. So goodwill, I will say only in case of only in case of business combination, only in case of business combination transaction. Yes, sir. Only in case of restatement, you can say restatement of business combination transaction. Yes, sir. Only in case of restatement of business combination transaction. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I hope you understood. Are you able to understand? Yes, sir. So any effect of remeasurement is adjusted with retained earning or other component of equity. Other component equity means for compound financial instrument, the equity component will be transferred to other component of equity. I hope you are understanding. So it can be other component of equity also as required by Ind AS, as required by Ind AS. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Or it can be goodwill. Means normally I will say for almost all the transaction, if question is silent, means it is not a business combination, question is silent, apply for retained earning, the difference will be transferred to retained earning. I will not write down if question is silent, because for business combination also question may be silent, so it will be wrong to write down if question is silent. Means I will say most of the adjustment will be done through retained earning. I hope you are understanding. Yes, sir. Correct. Very simple. Very simple. Any doubt? No doubt? Yes, sir. No doubt. Correct. Now, one note has been given. A note has been given. If a new Ind AS is not mandatory but permit early adoption, then it should not be applied in the first Ind AS financial statement. Correct. Once again, if a new Ind AS is not mandatory but permit early adoption, then it should not be applied in the first Ind AS financial statement. Let me give an example. You all know that Ind AS 116 is applicable. Ind AS 116 is applicable from 1/4/2019. 1/4/2019, and so for 1/4/2018, this is the date when entity adopted Ind AS for the first time. Correct. So this become 1/4/2017. This become the date of transition. This become opening opening India's balance sheet, opening India's balance sheet. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Correct. This financial statement will be known as first India's financial statement. Correct. Now, as per India's 116, this is effective from 1/4/2019, but any entity can adopt it on an early basis. Correct now. So it is effective. It is effective from 1/4/2019 on mandatory basis. On mandatory basis. I hope you're understanding. Correct. But voluntary, any entity, any entity can adopt, can adopt India's 116 before what? Before 1/4/2019. I hope you're understanding whatever I am saying. This is one what I will say. It is recommendatory but not mandatory. Yes, sir. Are you getting what I am saying? Yes, sir. Now the question is that for preparing first India's financial statement, can we apply India's 116 on an early basis? So India's 101 is clear on this part. Ki for first India's financial statement, this India's 116, which is mandatory from 1/4/2019, cannot be adopted on an early basis. So for first India's financial statement, India's 116 India's 116 cannot be applied on an early basis. Yes, sir. I hope you understood this entire discussion. Yes, sir, we have understood. Correct. Now you can see, you will understand whatever I have said. Have you written this? Correct. Are you understanding or not? Have you understood? Yes, sir. So what they have said, if new Indias is not mandatory but permit early adoption, then it should not be applied in first India's financial statement. A clarification has been given and it should not be applied. Yes, sir. Correct. Understood. Now we'll come to what exemption. Means in this chapter we need to understand exemption only. Question will come from exemption. Question will come from exemption. Correct. From the, if I see all the past attempt, so in the past attempt they have not given a very good question based on this chapter. Till now they have not given very good question based on this chapter. However, now it is always expected a question from this chapter. So this chapter is from my point of view very important from the for coming attempt. Because in RTP MTP, in the recent RTP MTP, they have given a good quality of question from this chapter. So if they are starting giving good quality of question, this is an indication that they may ask a question based on this chapter. They may ask a question based on this chapter. Yes, sir. Exemption. Point number A, mandatory exemption. There are some mandatory exemption. Point number one, accounting estimate. Now the question is that if suppose as per previous gap, when I say previous gap, it means existing accounting standard. Can you see it might happen depreciation, for calculation of depreciation we have already estimated useful life. Now the question is, should we change that useful life based on Ind AS? Are you getting what I am saying? The question is what? Ki already we are depreciating property, plant and equipment based on AS10 as per estimated useful life, as per estimated residual value, as per depreciation method. So should we change that accounting estimate based on Ind AS? This is one doubt. So what Ind AS 101 says, estimate required by previous gap estimate required by previous gap and no estimation was done. Means estimation was required by previous gap but no estimation was done. Then make estimate reflecting condition at relevant date. Means you need to make estimate reflecting the condition at relevant date. Relevant date means what? Date of transition. Date of transition, yes sir. But if the estimate is required by previous gap and they have already estimated it and there is what? There is some evidence of error. Means that estimation was not correct. Are you getting? Means we'll ask, yes, the estimation was done, and if there is any evidence of error, yes. If there is any evidence of error, then once again make estimate reflecting the condition at relevant date. At relevant date means on the date of transition prospectively. Means this is prospectively we are doing prospectively. I hope you are understanding. Correct? Yes, sir, we are understanding. Correct. Can a changes in accounting estimate always done prospectively? Yes, sir. But if there is no evidence of error, means estimation, whatever was done as per existing AS was correct estimation and it is consistent with India's. Consistent with India's. Yes, it is consistent. Use previous estimate. No adjustment is required. No adjustment is required. But it is not consistent with India's. Not consistent with India's. Are you getting what I am saying? Then use previous estimate and adjust to reflect India's. Means you use previous estimate but it will be adjusted to reflect the requirement of India's. Adjust to reflect India's means requirement of India's. Requirement of India's. I hope you are understanding. Yes, sir. Are you getting what I am saying? Are you getting what I am saying? Yes, sir. Correct? Yes, sir. Have you understood this point? So if it is not consistent with India's, if it is not consistent with India's, use previous estimate and adjust to reflect the requirement of India's. Adjust to reflect the requirement of India's. Understood? Yes, sir. Correct. Accounting estimate, I think no discussion required on this. Correct. Come to the next point. Point number two, derecognition of financial asset and financial liability. Derecognition of financial asset and financial liability. So what Ind AS 101 says, FTS shall apply derecognition requirement as per Ind AS 109 prospectively. Means derecognition need to be done on a prospective basis to a transaction on or after date of transition. On or after date of transition. Means any financial asset of financial liability which has been derecognized as per previous gap before the date of transition shall not be recognized as per Ind AS. Correct now means what they want to say, just try to understand. Suppose this is the date of transition. Correct? This is the date of transition and there was some financial asset which was already derecognized as per accounting standard. However, the derecognition is not as per the requirement of Ind AS. I hope you are understanding. Means if you apply Ind AS, so that should not be derecognized. Can I take one example? For example, there was one receivable, there was one receivable which was transferred. Receivable was transferred, means right to receive cash flow was transferred, correct? But risk and reward was not transferred. Risk and reward was not transferred. Are you getting what I am saying? Now, if the risk and reward was not transferred, can we de-recognize as per India's? No. Are you getting what I am saying? But there is no accounting standard on that. There is no accounting standard on that. Are you able to understand? Means as per AS, we have never done any chapter financial instrument. Are you getting what I am saying? Correct. So risk and reward was not transferred. Means as per Ind AS 109, as per Ind AS 109, it should not be de-recognized. It should not be de-recognized. Understood? Now the question is that should we apply Ind AS 109 retrospectively? Well, no. If it is already de-recognized, if it is already de-recognized, what they have said, any financial asset liability which has been de-recognized as per previous gap before the date of transition shall not be recognized as per Ind AS. Means, can I say this financial asset will not be recognized, will not be recognized as per Ind AS, even though Ind AS require recognition of such financial asset as per Ind AS on the date of transition, on the date of transition. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Means Kinis will apply Ind AS 109 only to which financial asset? Only to which financial asset or financial liability? So will apply Ind AS 109. Will apply Ind AS 109, Ind AS 109 on prospective basis only to those financial asset liability which are de-recognized on or after date of transition. On or after date of transition means only to these financial assets and liability. Ind AS 109 will be applicable on a prospective basis. On a prospective basis, this is mandatory exemption. Mandatory means option has not been given to recognize such financial asset. I hope you're understanding whatever I'm saying. This is mandatory exemption. Mandatory exemption means the entity, even though they want to recognize such financial asset or financial liability which was already de-recognized as per existing years, they cannot be recognized. So this is mandatory exemption. Yes, sir. I hope you understood. Yes, sir. Correct. Point number two, you have understood. Point number three, this NCI is very important from examination point of view. NCI means non-controlling interest. Non-controlling interest. Now we know that as per Ind AS 110, NCI can have negative balance. But as per AS 21, because you have done AS 21, minority interest cannot have negative balance. Minority interest cannot have negative balance. Yes, sir. So what they have said, what just try to understand. NCI will be recognized as per Ind AS 110 prospectively. Prospectively means not retrospectively. That is, total comprehensive income is attributable to owner of parent company and NCI from the date of transition, even if NCI may become negative. NCI may become negative means what they want to say. Suppose this is the date of transition, correct? And on this date, NCI was rupees 1 lakh. 1 lakh, or are you able to understand? Correct. And it means now the total comprehensive income of subsidiary company will be attributable to the owner of parent company and NCI from the date of transition, means will not apply retrospective application. means not from the beginning. Are you getting what I am saying? And of course, now as per India's, can you see this NCI may have negative balance? May have negative balance? Yes or no? Yes or no? Means this for NCI will not apply retrospective application, only prospective. Means can I say in this way कि in opening India's balance sheet, in opening India's balance sheet, NCI will be always positive, will be always positive. It cannot be negative because we do not apply retrospective application for NCI. Yes, sir. So in opening India's balance sheet, in opening India's balance sheet, can I say NCI will be always have positive balance? Yes, sir. Correct. In opening India's balance sheet, NCI cannot have negative balance. Why? Why? Because retrospective application is not permitted, is not permitted. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Correct. Understood. I hope you understood this point. What they have said once again. NCI will be recognized as per India's 110 prospectively, that is total comprehensive income is attributable to the owner of parent company and NCI from a date of transition, even if NCI may become negative. Yes, sir. In other words, NCI cannot have negative balance in opening India's balance sheet. Yes, sir. But there is one exception to this rule. There is one exception to this rule. What they said. However, if FTA elect to apply Ind AS 103 retrospectively. Now, when we will do voluntary exemption, so in that voluntary exemption, two option has been given to the entity. Either they can apply Ind AS 103 prospectively or retrospectively. Can you see if they are applying Ind AS 103 retrospectively? So they need to apply Ind AS 110 also retrospectively. In that case, can you see NCI can have negative balance in opening Ind AS balance sheet? I hope you are understanding whatever I am saying. Means can I say if any past business combination we are applying retrospective application, it means if Ind AS 103 is applied retrospectively, so Ind AS 110 need to be also applied retrospectively. So if Ind AS 110 is applied retrospectively, so can I say NCI need to be calculated retrospectively? In that case, can I say NCI can have negative balance in opening Ind AS balance sheet? Yes, sir. So this is one exception to this rule. Means this exception will come because of voluntary exemption. Because of voluntary exemption. Yes, sir, what they said. However, if FTA elect to apply Ind AS 103 retrospectively to pass business combination, then it shall also apply Ind AS 110 retrospectively. In this situation, NCI may have negative balance in the opening Ind AS balance sheet. Very important. Write down. Refer question number 5. I will refer it. Means I will also do it. Refer question number 5. Come to question number 5. Yes, sir. What they have done. Indians require allocation of losses to NCI, which may ultimately lead to debit balance in NCI. Even there is no contract with the NCI interest holder to contribute asset to the company to the fund the losses. Whether this adjustment is required or permitted to made retrospectively. So first you should write down as per India's 101 there is a mandatory exemption that NCI will not be restated retrospectively, it will be restated on a prospective basis. Therefore, can I say NCI cannot have negative balance in opening India's balance sheet. Means total comprehensive income will be attributable to owner of parent company NCI from the date of transition, but there is one exception to this rule. You can read the answer. I will say you will be able to understand. Yes, sir. Correct. Yes, sir. Correct? Understood. Now come to point number 4, government loan. Right down, very important. Now, I hope you remember we have done one point under Ind AS 20. Whenever government loan is received at concessional rate of interest, then we need to measure loan as per the principle of Ind AS 109. That is, loan will be measured at fair value of loan, which will be equal to present value of all future cash outflow, means contractual cash outflow, discounted by using market rate of interest for similar loan. Yes, sir. And any difference between the loan proceeds and fair value of loan will be recognized as government grant as per Ind AS 20, which will be recognized over the period on a systematic basis to PL. You remember this point? Yes, sir. Now, what Ind AS 101 says, let us understand what this is. If any government loan was received at concessional rate of interest, such loans should be remeasured. No, this point has some correction. So please, this point you delete. This point you delete. This point number B also you delete. Correct. This point number 3 is correct. So first write down 1 second, I will say. This point, write down. You can write down under India Sarans, when student note is there, you can write down there. Okay, sir? Okay. So write down. We are doing point number 4. Government loan. In this write down. Point number A. A FTA, first time adopter, shall classify all government loan all government loan received as a financial liability or an equity instrument as per Ind AS 32. Correct. Now you know that whenever a loan can be classified as financial liability or equity instrument by applying the principle of Ind AS 32. Yes, sir. I hope you remember. Point number B, write down. A FTA, first time adopter, shall apply Ind AS 109 and Ind AS 20, Ind AS 109 and Ind AS 20 prospectively. Write down. Prospectively to government loan existed at the date of transition correct, and shall not recognize and shall not recognize shall not recognize corresponding benefit of government loan at concessional rate concessional rate as government grant. As government grant means what they are saying कि the government loan will be recognized on a prospective basis means you need to apply Ind AS 109 and Ind AS 20 on a prospective basis on that government loan which are existed on the date of transition and will not recognize any corresponding benefit of government loan which has been given which has been received at concessional rate of interest as government grant. Yes sir. Then continue point number B. That on FTA shall use previous gap previous gap carrying amount previous gap carrying amount of loan at date of transition as carrying amount of loan as carrying amount of loan in opening India's balance sheet in opening India's balance sheet means no adjustment is required means whatever previous carrying amount as per previous gap means carrying amount as per previous gap will be recognized as carrying amount in the opening India's balance sheet and no adjustment is required. Yes sir, correct. I hope you are understanding. An entity an entity shall apply Ind AS 109 Ind AS 109 to measurement of such loan after the date of transition means once opening India's balance sheet is prepared now we can apply Ind AS 109 to such loan for the measurement part for the measurement principle. I hope you understood. Yes sir, correct. Then now point number C. However, 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 an entity may apply the requirement of Ind AS 109 Ind AS 109 retrospectively retrospectively correct to any government loan to any government loan originated originated before date of transition before date of transition means one option has been given that any entity may apply the requirement of Ind AS 109 retrospectively to any government loan which was originated before the date of transition, but there is one condition that provided one condition is there provided the information needed to do so has been obtained at the time of initial accounting initial accounting of initial accounting for the loan. Correct? I'm just informing. Initial accounting for the loan means what they said कि entity may apply the requirement of Ind AS 109 retrospectively to any government loan originated before the date of transition, provided the information needed to do so. Means to apply retrospective application, we want information, means we want market rate of interest for similar loan on the date of loan. So that the information required to find out the fair value of loan on the date when the loan was received. I hope you remember. Correct now. So what they say, provided the information needed to do so. Information needed to do so means information needed to apply retrospective application has been obtained at the time of initial accounting, has been obtained at the time of initial accounting for the loan, means that time that information was available with the entity. I hope you remember. Correct? I hope you have understood. Bolo, understood or not? Let me take one question with that question. We'll try to understand what they want to say. Come to the examples given in India's Saran's book. Come to example given in India's Saran's book. This example. On 1/4/2016, A Limited received a government loan of rupees 20 lakh at a rate of 6% per annum, which was payable on 31st March 2021. Market rate of similar loan, market rate of similar loan, but change करेंगे. Not on the date of transition, market rate of similar loan on 1/4/2016 is 10%. Means this information was known. Correct now. Market rate of similar loan on 1/4/2016 is 10%. A Limited applies Ind AS for the first time on 1/4/2018. Give accounting treatment on the date of transition. I hope you understood the question. Let me explain you once again what is the requirement of the question. Correct? Yes, sir. Correct. Now, write down the answer. Everyone. So we are doing example. Write down example given in India's Saran's book. Can we start? So there are two options. Write down. Option 1. Write down. If entity apply Ind AS 109 and Ind AS 20 prospectively, correct, to government loan existed at the date of transition. At the date of transition means what is the date of transition? That is 1/4/2017. 1/4/2017. Yes, sir. Let's see what is the date of transition given. They have given what? They have applied, means for the first time they are applying on 1/4/2018, but the date of transition will be the opening date of previous year, that is 1/4/2017. Yes, sir. Correct. I hope you have understood. Yes, sir. Correct. Then what will be the what we need to do in this case? Write down. In this case, write down. In this case, entity will not recognize, entity will not recognize what? Any government grant, any government grant on the date of transition, on the date of transition, and 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 previous gap, previous gap carrying amount of loan, carrying amount of loan at the date of transition, at the date of transition will be used, will be used as carrying amount of loan, carrying amount of loan, that is rupees 20 lakh, that is rupees 20 lakh in opening India's balance sheet, in opening India's balance sheet. Yes, sir. I hope you understood this point. Correct. And no adjustment is required in retained earning. Nothing will be transferred to retained earning. I hope you have understood. What is option 2? Correct. That on option 2, that on an entity may apply, may apply the requirement of Ind AS 109 retrospectively, retrospectively what? To any government loan, to government loan, correct? To government loan originated on or before date of transition. So we need to apply Ind AS 109 retrospectively. It means in this case we need to calculate, calculation, write down, calculation of fair value of loan, fair value of loan as per Ind AS 109, as per Ind AS 109, as on which date? As on the date of loan means 1/4/2016. 1/4/2016 means we need to find out the present value of contractual cash outflow. I hope you understood. Yes, sir. Write down. Year end, year end, contractual cash outflow, present value factor at the rate of, at the rate of 10%. I have given that 10%, I have changed that this is on 1/4/2016. Then we'll calculate total present value. So year end 31st March 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21. What is the rate of interest? Contractual rate of interest 6%. So it is 1,20,000. 1,20,000. I hope you are understanding. 1,20,000. 1,20,000. 1,20,000. Yes, sir. So can you give me the present value? This will be plus 20 lakh also. Plus 20 lakh. So can you give me the total present value? As per my solution, it is what amount? As per my solution, this amount is how much? Can you give me the amount? Yes, sir. 1 minute. I will give you. It is 16 lakh. 16 lakh 96,000. 696. Just check it whether it is correct or not. Yes, sir. Understood? Yes, sir. But we need to apply, we need to find out a carrying amount of loan on the date of transition. Write down. Next point, calculation of carrying amount of loan on the date of transition, on the date of transition. So what we used to do, year end, opening obligation, remember, interest at the rate of 10%, then contractual cash outflow, then what? Then what will do? Closing obligation. Yes, sir. 31st March 2017. We'll start with that. What is the opening obligation? 16 lakh 96,000. 696. 696. This will be 1 lakh 69,000. 1 lakh 69,000. 66. You can say 670. Then this will be 1 lakh 20,000. So what is the closing balance? Closing balance will be what? It will be 17 lakh 46,366. So this is the closing balance on the closing balance on 31st March 2017 means we can say opening balance on the date of transition. Yes, sir. Now we need to also find out calculation calculation of unamortized deferred income. Yes, sir. So write down calculation of unamortized unamortized deferred income. I hope you understood. Deferred income. Correct. So what is the loan proceeds? What is the loan proceeds on 1/4/2016? How much received? 20 lakh received. 20 lakh received. Can I say minus fair value of loan? What is the fair value of loan? Fair value of loan on the same date already we calculated on 1/4/2016. It is 16 lakh 96,696. 696. So can I say this will be government grant with deferred income? So this will be government grant. This will be considered as government grant as per Ind AS 20, and this will be treated as deferred income. Deferred income. Yes, sir. So what is the deferred income? Batao. 20 lakh minus 16 lakh 96,696. That is 3 lakh 3,304. Correct. Now let us assume that this deferred income will be amortized during this 5 year on SLM basis because question is silent. So I am taking assumption. However, in question they will provide this information whenever we need to apply retrospective application. Correct. That down. Transfer to transfer to PL. Transfer to PL. Transfer to PL of which year? Can I? It should be transfer to PL of which year? 1617. Correct now. Are you getting on SLM basis? 3 lakh 3,304 divide by 5. Yes, sir. How much it is? It is 60,661. 661. So can I say this will be the unamortized balance on the date of transition? Yes, sir. This become unamortized balance, unamortized balance as on which date? As on the date of transition. I hope you are understanding whatever I am saying, correct? As on the date of transition, correct? Means 1/4/2017. Yes, sir. So this is how much? 303,304 minus 60,661. That is how much left? 2,42,643. Yes, sir. Just give one star mark and write down. Write down. It has been assumed that it has been assumed that correct. Deferred income, deferred income will be amortized, will be amortized to PL over 5 year on SLM basis. On SLM basis. However, in exam, don't worry, this information will be provided because once we are applying retrospective application, so this information should be known at the initial accounting date. Then only we can apply retrospective application. Otherwise, we can't apply retrospective application. I hope you understand this point. Yes, sir. So in exam, of course, just try to understand. Correct. In exam question, this information will be provided. This information will be provided. Don't worry. Correct. Because this question is prepared by me, so I forgot to provide that information. Correct. Yes, sir. So in exam question, don't worry, such information will be provided. Correct. Yes, sir. Now, what will be the accounting treatment? So we need to pass one journal entry on the date of transition. So what journal entry will do? Write down accounting treatment. Accounting treatment on which date? On 1/4/2017. What journal entry will do? Can you see we need to de-recognize the old loan? So loan as per previous gap, will be de-recognized. Yes, sir. So that is how much? 20 lakh. That is 20 lakh. Now we need to apply the loan as per Ind AS. The loan as per Ind AS. What is the amount which we need to recognize? That is how much? It is 17 lakh 46,000. Yes, sir. 17 lakh 46,000 366. 366. Yes, sir. Then to deferred income. Deferred income how much? To deferred income, it will be deferred income. How much it is? 2,42,643. 2,42,643. And the difference will be transferred to what? The difference will be transferred to retained earning. The difference will be transferred to retained earning. Yes, sir. How much will be transferred to retained earning? That is 10,991. 10,991 will be transferred to retained earning. I hope you have understood this point. Have you understood? Correct. So I have taken one question because no specific question was given on this, but from my point of view, some such question can be asked in exam. Correct. So a specific question was not given for this. So therefore I have created a question. If suppose they ask in exam, you should be able to do it. I hope you have understood. Bolo yes or no? Yes, sir.